What is going on, guys? This is the Cloud9 podcast, season 3, episode 13. So, yeah, we didn't have an episode last week because the Rumble stage, immediately happened, directly after the other stage of games took place. So, what ended up really going on is I thought to myself, since the Rumble stage and the previous stage were pretty much back to back insanely quickly in terms of, me eating out your mom's ass. Okay, I'm just fucking with you guys. Okay, so what basically ended up happening was that the MSI 2022 stage 1 and 2 took place so quickly between each other that it really didn't leave us any time to do a Cloud9 podcast episode last week. So what I ended up actually doing was that I just soaked up all the games. I watched pretty much all the games, actually. No, I know I watched all the games. And what I ended up doing was I just took a break off. I hadn't actually ever took a break from the channel. I remember I had never actually taken a break from this channel specifically. My main YouTube channel, I've never taken a break from that. But I realized to myself, I started this channel up with my friend around the November 2018 period. That's when Rush was going to be on Echo Fox. Crazy times back in the day, right? So yeah, I just realized to myself I had never actually taken a break from the channel. So I just literally used, last week as a chance to, just take a break really quickly, come back all refresh, But I watched all the games anyway. So I wasn't really, quote unquote, taking a break anyway, because I pretty much, literally was watching the games, going on Twitter, checking the narratives about certain teams. Cloud9 put out a video about their roster for the LCS 2022 summer split. We had a lot of off-season news that came up for certain teams. The good old NA-EU arguments that always seem to be happening every single goddamn time.
I love how they're like, please NA, shave our shot during that PSG game, and then it's like, fuck you NA during the G2 game. That, there's a bunch of children there.
That was really weird. There's a lot to talk about.
Okay,
Holy
so
shit.
do EU fans know how to make jokes? This is actually concerning. I think they need to see a doctor. Literally the only thing they know how to do is just saying NA will never win Worlds, lol, and then gets just 1,000 likes from it on Twitter. That's all they know how to do. Holy fuck. My fucking dead grandfather knows how to make better jokes than this.
Dude, I don't really get it with some people. You know how in league tournaments, sometimes another team needs another team to win so that they can get through. But then when that team that they need to win actually wins for them, then if they face each other and that other team that needed you to win, you beat them, now you're just a fucking joke. It's well, this is my thing here, is I didn't expect EG to beat G2 at all because they already beat them 5 times. It's guys, if any of you thought EG were actually going to beat G2, I understand G2 were having a slump in that period. They had lost their last 5 games straight, but you have to factor in G2 had already pretty much beaten EG to the point where I don't think anyone should have expected EG to beat them, even when G2 were obviously faltering, and I know the biggest topic came up, which was pretty much about the MSI format. I personally think the MSI format needs to change, and Riot, should definitely look into that. If enough fans clamor for it, Riot has been shown in the past to definitely change it, Riot definitely needs to fucking change up the MSI format. It's really, really bad. There's no level of discrepancy between how strong a team is versus how weak a team is. Pretty much all the major regions just beat the shit out of the minor regions. And I was telling Warren and Sean on the show too, these guys aren't going to really drop games to those guys like that. They're not that good, I know the wildcard regions have been kind of building up a little bit. Nothing they do is ever going to be enough for major regions. I know G2 lost to PSG Talon and Songmoon Buffalo, but if you take
Yeah.
LCS and LCK and LPL, their records against them, like they're just not that good, guys. And like,
I'm so confused though by like these stand-ins at MSI right now. So hold on. So they say Wildcats got 11th in the smallest amount of cash, even though they play the same and with the same record as Team A's, but they got 9th through 10th in a higher money pool. Oh, well, where's the logic here? Like, are you seeing this shit? You looked at the prize pool. This makes no sense. I sent you the link in private chat.
okay, so
Like,
my
fuck.
thing here with the MSI format currently right now is like the wild card teams just don't get a chance. They just don't. Like guys, let's be completely honest here. If Red Candidates face T1, they are going to get destroyed. It doesn't really matter how good they play in their region. It doesn't matter because their region is inherently weaker. Because I know people like to compare NALC regions. It's very visibly, provenly, factually shown from this tournament. There's a reason why they are considered minor regions. Okay, guys, it's very, very clearly shown. There's a huge
like,
discrepancy between
people
NA
are so
and
dumb
like
saying
everyone
that
else.
shit, that NA is basically a minor region. Like, fuck off. They've been clear. There's clearly a big gap between them and minor regions over the years. They keep showing they were literally better than EU yet last year at World. So if NA is a minor region, so is EU, especially because they played the same at this MSI, and EU also played shit at MSI last year. They were just lucky that Cloud9 was so inconsistent, or Mad probably wouldn't have even made it out of groups. Like, holy fuck, like there's clearly a huge gap, unlike LMS, which then became PCS, a minor region, where you could see the regression where they literally would, like, older teams would go 0-6 in groups, like an actual minor region.
Yeah, I remember like when they were called like the LMS before the LMS got absorbed essentially into the LPL. Like LMS teams were literally going 0-6 in groups.
Yeah, 0-6,
back to
like
back
all of them.
years. Back to
Even
back
though
years,
they're number
actually.
one seed. So yeah, they're actually a minor region now. And they, like, if you still see their results, like, sorry, there's still a huge gap. Like, they're just the fourth best. Oh well.
Like, I guess NA just has to be pretty much stuck on being the fourth best, which is, that's fine. At least you're not considered a minor region, because a minor region, as we'll talk about later on, you can visibly see why they're bad. Like, as I told Warren and Sean in our last show that we did, literally not last week, but the week before, there's a reason why they're considered minor regions. They're just not that good. And you can see it in their gameplay, in their prep, in their macro, in their laning, in their decision-making around the map when it comes to objectives. They're just bad all the way around, you know? And it's not their fault. It's just what it is for them. It's not their fault. But you have to kind of take that and you have to kind of go, okay, they're not as good as LCS, LEC, LCK, LPL, but we have to kind of give them their fair shot too. So I think any MSI format moving forward has to deal with that. Like, they have to pretty much give them a fair shot at letting them showcase their strength. Also, introducing double elimination. Why are we not doing double elimination at international tournaments? Like,
yeah, it's dumb.
Essentially, the regional leagues have introduced double elimination. I think the only one that doesn't have double elim is LCK, right? That's the only major reason it doesn't have it. I'm pretty sure they don't have double elim. No, the LCK does not have double elim, from what I know.
Yeah, they don't. It's dumb. But yeah, look at this shit here, though. How does this make sense? Okay, first off, why is Wildcats at the very bottom with the lowest, pool and the lowest placement when they had the same record and placement in their group as Team Ace? And then look at this, Order automatically gets higher fucking cash pool and placement just because their group was only 3 teams over Detonation Focus. Oh, how does this make any sense? This prize pool makes no sense. And if they wanted to fix this before, why not just then get like the second seed from PCS as well, just like the second seed from VCS to fix it, so you have fucking 16 or 12 team or whatever it is. Like, for fuck's sake, this is dumb. Like what is this format? MSI.
God, like the MSI format just needs to change, and I think adding in the second place teams from major regions, to me personally, would be a huge benefit. But people would say, how's that a benefit for the minor regions? Simple. You just schedule around them. Like, the reason why I think Mark Z explained you don't do the international wildcard tournament is because it's hard to secure sponsors for a tournament like that. The viewership isn't very good. Whereas when they combined the minor region games with the major region games, it gave people a bigger of incentive to watch the games together. Now, if you have an MSI format where you want to incorporate the minor regions and give them a chance to showcase their skills, they can't really be going up against LCS, LEC, LPL, and LCK teams. Now, I know people memed on G2 losing to PSG Talent and Signoon Buffalo, but G2 still handily beat Order, which is OCE, which is a minor region, you know? So I think it was the fact that wasn't the LCS 8-0 against minor regions just from this tournament alone? Like, it's still very proven LCS is better than minor regions, guys. I know people don't want to accept that. I know people just think it's a meme.
Yeah, people are
all the
stupid.
results.
It's like, oh, they lost one meaningless fucking game against Pentanet GG last year, and then they lost one meaningless game against fucking Detonation Focus Me where it didn't matter at all because they were either facing fucking Brazil or Oceanic in the best of 5 afterwards anyway. Yippee. Wow, they're definitely worse, guys.
Like, it's just people who just say stupid shit just because they want to just, like, flame North America. And guys,
I swear to God, EU fans are like, they need to like find where their sense of humor went. Like, they do not know how to meme at all. It's actually sad. Like, I made a fucking tweet yesterday under like Berserker's tweet where I was obviously being like, he was like, shit, I don't want to go to the military, and then I was like, don't worry, just stay in NA, get a green card. And then I made a tweet of like his a sarcastic tweet of his bucket list goals. I said, stay in NA, acquire a green card, make millions. And then the last 5 I intentionally made the most sarcastic, including winning worlds, obviously, as NA. I put it in between discovering aliens and becoming a literal god. But then some idiot EU fan didn't understand that was obviously part of the joke, and then he just wrote a reply saying, step 1, staying in NA automatically disqualifies winning worlds. I'm so funny. And then he just gets like 1,000 likes. I'm like, are you fucking peeped? Is your brain like swollen or something? Like, holy fuck. Yes, thank you for explaining the joke. That's the only jokes EU knows how to do. They're just like, NA won't win worlds. Lol. Wow, what great sense, great humor. Like, can you think of anything else? No, okay. Go suck Carlos off again, okay.
Holy fucking shit, dude. Like, that's my biggest problem with like some of the EU fans is that they just take everything so serious. Like, it's just needlessly taking everything so serious. Like, I get it. The LEC and Europe are better than NA. Anyone with a logical brain knows that.
Carlos fucking had a meltdown fucking crying over Frakes' fucking tweets about him when he was obviously being sarcastic. And he's just like, oh, fuck you, and it sucks, wah. Like, yeah, shut the fuck up. God, Carlos fucking, don't you have like some fucking cartel shit you need to do?
Oh my goodness, this man's crazy. So, this is my thing, guys. Like, anyone with half a brain knows that EU is better than NA. If this tournament didn't already prove that, I don't know what else the LEC has to do to show that. Now, I'm just a man enough to admit that to you. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm not going to tell you NA is better than EU or EU is better than NA in a single context that doesn't really matter for what we're trying to explain to you in a given year. Because like any given year, NA could be better than EU or EU could be better than NA.
Yeah, it's like they keep forgetting that. It's like NA was better at like all of 2016 with CLG.
They went NA actually went MSI. 6-0 against EU that whole year. CLG beat G2 4 times that year, and TSM beat Splice twice, which would give you your 6-0.
Yeah, they literally in 2016, they destroyed them in groups at Worlds.
NA won Rich Rivals
MSI,
the next year.
They made finals, so all of 2016 they were better. 2017 was
and they won Rift
honestly
Rivals
pretty even as well. Honestly, 2017 was pretty damn even if it wasn't basically the only reason why people think EU was better than NA in 2017 was because of fucking Cody's son.
Immortals choking their fucking balls off.
Cody's son. Just Cody's son. All right, if not for that, they could have been called better. And then, 2018, fucking Yeah, I mean, EU was slightly better there, definitely, obviously. I mean, because of G2, and then 2019, obviously better. 2020, obviously better, but then 2021, NA was
Oh no,
better, actually.
2018 was relatively even as well. Because remember,
Well, it was. It's just
TL lost to Fnatic in the tiebreaker to get out of the group stage. Remember, if TL had beaten Fnatic in that tiebreaker, TL would make top
no.
four.
It was. I like. Wait, what was again? Wait, was it
20
Fnatic?
Fnatic made Worlds Finals that year. I'm talking about MSI in
No, but you're thinking
2018.
another one. It was that EDG beat KT Rolster in a game that made them have a higher
Oh, you're
record.
talking about when like
Yeah.
people say KT threw against EDG or some shit. I don't know if
Yeah.
that was ever true,
Well, I
but
mean, if it wasn't for that, though, Team Liquid could have made it out because they looked way better than EDG if it wasn't for KT Rolster fucking choking against EDG in that one game. And then,
well, to be fair,
again,
like
RNG
TL
was
didn't
already
make.
dismantled by Cloud9. That probably helped G2's fucking series win in the best of 5. And then they just got
I
dick
mean,
stomped by
it also didn't
IG.
help. It also didn't help that TL was looking pretty shitty in that week 1 too. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can't. This is the thing, you can't bank on other teams winning for you to get out. Like TL played legitimately bad in that, and no, they actually played pretty horrible in their group stage. They only just looked good in like isolated games.
And
Like
I'm just pissed off, though, that, like, because that Cloud9 versus Fnatic series, like, it could have been a banger, could have been neck and neck, but Cloud9, like, for the whole fucking week leading up to it, went like 0-50 in fucking scrims, and were
well,
just
this is
like
my thing.
collapsing, which is why they played so
Mhm.
bad. Like,
My thing with that is I think they just had a what's the thing that I could really attribute to that? I think they just played with no restraints at all, and they played a style that they said they actually got from Vitality that worked out very well for them. But in reality, it's not to say that they were like really shitty, but they weren't like great though. And then when you eventually face better teams than you, because Fnatic actually just were legitimately better. They were just like legitimately better as players overall. So like going
mm-hmm.
in, I was like, I think Cloud9 can win. But it's like if Fnatic have the better players, then 9 times out of 10 they're gonna beat them. You know, because
Mm-hmm.
realistically, Cloud9 probably shouldn't have even gotten as far as they did, but they played very well to get to that point. But eventually, you're gonna hit the part where you just face a better team than you, like with the H2K back in 2016. People were like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, EU made top 4 at Worlds 2016." Yeah, man, the easiest group stage and quarterfinals ever. My God, what an accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
You beat INTZ and AHQ and Albus Nox Luna.
Yeah,
Congrats, dude. Oh,
good
such
job,
skill.
good job, guys.
And
Fuck's sake.
you beat an EDG who were playing so bad, my eyes completely. I contemplated stabbing my eyes out, looking how bad they were playing. It was
Mm-hmm.
that bad. Oh, but they made top 4. Yankles
Yeah.
himself doesn't even
Hey,
care
listen,
that
man,
they
I'm
made
just
top
saying
4 that year.
they should get back Rikara, the world's
Oh, how about?
legend.
I don't think so. How about that? You're crazy.
I mean, you want to know a crazy fact? I
No.
mean, Cody, even though he didn't play at one of them because he was fucking benched over Rikara. I mean, so he made like worlds 3 or 4 times, but in the group stage, his records, I'm pretty sure he has won 2 games. You know, he won it like 2017 as Immortals. He won those 2 games, and then 2018 he didn't win any because he was benched. And 2019 he went 0-6 with Clutch Gaming. So he won 2 games out of all those 3 times he went to Worlds as supposed to be a starter. Rikara, when he played for him, won 2 games with 100 Thieves. So he has as many wins as Cody's son with one Worlds. Fucking Rikara, who has never played an LCS game before, ever, and never will. You know, that's just had to bring that up. There's a fun fact for you guys.
So for me personally, like the whole NA versus EU thing, guys, you ask any person in any given year, you're gonna get different results. I think this year, by just how many times G2 was beaten EG, I'm pretty sure EU is better this year. I don't know, guys. Like people keep saying, "Oh yeah, well EG they took 1 game off the LCK and G2 also did that themselves.
I mean,
They also
we're
beat
gonna
them."
have to wait till Worlds, because I mean, yeah, I think it's just.
As of
I
right
mean, it's just a
now,
counter matchup. Like NA
EU
better
is
than
better.
PSG, PSG better than fucking EU, EU better than. I mean, whatever. All these teams, all three of them just shit the bed. All of them are taking the L's this year,
But
unless
I
one of
don't
them
know.
makes
I think
finals.
I think it depends on, I guess, how you look at it. Because like people can say, well, G2 lost to PSG. They also defeated T1 and RNG.
Yeah, so
EG didn't
I'm
beat
gonna need
EG didn't
more. We're
beat
gonna have to wait
RNG.
till Worlds, obviously, but
Because
this
like this is the
tournament,
thing. Because this is the
yeah.
thing. Like Worlds will give you a better indication of the rivalry because there's 3 teams going rather than 1. But EG themselves lost literally every single game against actual major regions, and they won 1 game, and that was because Team 1 were, people want to talk about throwing. T1 were throwing pretty hard there.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was, I'm not saying they actually were trying to intentionally do that, but that was some
It's like they
legitimate throwing.
Yeah, they won 4 games against minor regions and then 1 game against T1 where they threw. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he used better. Yeah, I'm just saying I'm gonna need more though, because G2 obviously has those higher ceilings with the teams they beat, but I mean, you could also, but with their inconsistency and just the teams they lost, I'm gonna need more. And also, you could say that RNG and T1, like in their first games when they went 2-0, you could say the exact same thing with T1 versus EG as well. So I mean, I'm gonna need more.
But
Both of
T1
them were
showed
just clown fiestas.
weaknesses. Like T1 showed weaknesses as well. Like there's a
Well, it's
game
because of the
now.
pin and other things.
So, but this is the
In
thing, dude.
their
T1
first like
themselves
couple
hadn't.
days, T1 just got cocky, and then the
But,
rest of them is
but
just
it had
pin
nothing to do with
issues.
that. It had nothing to do with that. They legitimately really didn't actually face substantial competition in their league outside of just it being the LCK. Like
I
a lot of
disagree,
a
but
lot of the
okay.
teams they faced did not have their main players. The first time they actually faced Genji with Chovy, that was when he just recovered from COVID. Showmaker didn't have the best split at all. Also, Damwon did not have the best top laner at all. Like they really didn't compete against any like substantially really amazing team.
I disagree because I think it's the same thing with Cloud. I mean, we're not going to talk about Summer. I mean, that didn't like prove anything. It was just fucking collapse, and that doesn't disprove how good they were before that. But Cloud9 in 2019, yeah, their league was extremely weak, but still, when you watch them play though, like, and just put inside there, like, you could see they know what they were doing. It wasn't just the league being weaker, and I think it was the same thing with T1. Like, yeah, the league was weaker from COVID shit, but no, they just had like insane macro and everything. Like, it's
I'm not saying
literally
they're
one of the
bad,
best macro
but
teams ever.
when you look at the obstacles surrounding them, it's like I could see why they would play bad against these other teams, because these other teams like EG, G2, RNG are actually challenging them at certain things. There's certain things I watched in those T1 games they were just getting away with for free. They weren't even being contested on like very pivotal things. Rift Herald actually invades that teams were doing against them. They weren't just certain teams just letting them get away with stuff. You know, not to be fair, they were actually winning in the draft because like, their champions were really handily winning in lane, and also Owner was kind of just running around the map killing everyone. But like that's the problem inherently when it comes to like these tournaments, is like they could be very good or bad depending on T1. I don't think they've gotten exposed, you know, or anything like that. I think they played serviceably pretty good
If the pins
overall.
was normal, then they would be first right now. Sorry.
I mean,
The
but what if
pin
the
has
ping was
fucked them over.
What if the ping was great and they would still have this rev record? So what would you say about that?
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, I can't point out scenarios that haven't existed, you know?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, then obviously in that case, yeah. But I mean,
Because they beat RNG the last game,
I
right?
did mention this like the whole year though. Like, well, while they went 18-0 everything, and they looked like one of the best macro teams ever, I did point out that yeah, Gumayushi was kind of running it down. He was being like way too confident, just like thinking his team will always cover for him, and it has been costing them now.
That's the player that I was surprised with when he was playing that bad. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, well, he was doing that all year, basically.
Like, I had seen him from the games that I actually got a chance to see. I saw him playing pretty well, but there was mistakes there you could point out and go, okay, maybe it's just Kyria covering up for them. But at this tournament, he's been getting caught out a lot. His laning phase has been not that great as a lot of people expected going in. He had the highest isolated deaths for any AD carry in the tournament. This went from a team that is literally power ranked to win the tournament, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So That's definitely telling as well. I think Faker now on T1 gets so much less credit because everyone only talks about Owner and Kyria and Zeus. It's like Faker's put in a lot of work. Like he's actually played legitimately good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's played great. Like I don't think he's dropped the laning phase at the tournament at all. Even against the games he lost against G2 and RNG, like he didn't drop laning phase. He was doing very well against them. It's just so sad that people now only look at Owner and Zeus and fucking Kyria on the team. The same thing with RNG. It goes to Ben. Ben's had a great tournament. Ben has pretty much beat the shit out of any person he's faced. And Ben's a great top laner. Ben has played really well. Another laner on RNG that doesn't get any credit is Ming. Ming was with Uzi, won titles with a complete different ADC now with Gala, wins international tournaments, and wins domestic trophies. Ming always getting underrated by a lot of people. Like Xiaohu in mid lane, like I've told people this before, Xiaohu's a good player, but he's nothing special. He's not a special mid laner. He's not gonna 1v9 take over the game unless his jungler way specifically plays for him. Then he can do that. He's not gonna just 1v9 take over by himself. And that's the problem with RNG. Like after the Rumble stage, after watching all those games, like Sangyoung Buffalo started out pretty bad. Like just the record that Sangyoung Buffalo started out with, you knew that they were not going to get out. PSG Talon beating G2 twice was pretty surprising because every other major region just clapped them. It was so crazy how PSG just beat G2, and then right after that, EG just stomps them. It's like, how did G2 lose to that? You're thinking to yourself, how did they lose to that? Now, I think it was in their drafting that they started drafting extremely, extremely bad. Like, it was bad how G2 were drafting. They were auto-drafting, losing lanes to themselves. Completely some of the worst drafting I've seen. Picking a Nivea into Galio? What is that? That's horrible. That was, like, awful. Like, I think them losing that game to PSG Talon really did hurt them, actually. Because it showed them that they were like, okay, our strategies are not working. Then they lost 5 games straight, and then they get that one win against EG. Like, subconsciously in my head, when I was watching that EG game, I was like, okay, EG are going to find their way to fuck this up. They're going to find their way to lose this game. And that's exactly what happened. They found their way to lose that game. How's that even possible? How did EG... And that's the thing, because I know people right now are praising EG. How can you praise EG when they lost to a team that was literally on a losing streak? 5 games straight. In an international tournament where you can't really just straight up adapt on the fly. You have to adapt to the different team you're going to face. It's like... People go like, well, in scrims, EG are doing very well against RNG. Scrims don't mean shit, guys. Scrims don't mean shit. Let's be honest here. Scrims do not mean anything. The only thing that matters is the stage games. You know, I guess scrims could have an indication of how bad a team could play.
I think EG is gonna be RNG 3-1.
They're gonna be RNG.
I think Jojo Pion's gonna pull out like the Aurelian Soul and just stomp him.
Oh my goodness, Jesus, fuck, dude. Oh my goodness. Hold on, let me change the title right now live for you guys. Jensen on C9, because we're gonna go over that C9 video that they put out a few days ago, actually. So let me just make sure the title's changed, and I just sign out of this account and I sign back into my main one. But
hey, I mean, I don't know how they're gonna do this season, but hey, now I can get a Jensen jersey finally.
Oh my god, this guy's fucking crazy. So my overall thoughts about the Rumble stage is. There's so many things you could really say. It's all BO1s. Now, this is what I didn't agree with. I don't agree and don't really align with the thought process that you can call someone, a player or a team, the best team in the world after 2 best-of-1s. That is so disingenuous. That is probably the most disingenuous thing you could tell simple-minded, stupid people out there who will just believe anything a caster says. Now, I've said this before a lot of times. I've learned a lot from the casters over the years. I've learned a lot from them. I still learn things from them every single time I watch broadcasts, even though they might be a little biased towards certain teams, you know? But I think it's bad that you will call a team the best team in the world after they won TOBU once. Not only to mention that, a lot of people have vividly pointed out you do not say certain things like that day one of certain situations. So you do not want to call, let's say, Team Liquid the best team in the league when we get into summer for this year of the LCS 2022 Spring Split, the best team after week 1, because anything can happen in a 5-day stretch, okay? They call G2 the best team in the world, but the rest of the Rumble stage hadn't even been played out yet. You know, yes, they were the underdogs
They
going
said
in.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Are what? Unironically, they said G2's the best team.
Day one after they beat RNG in Team 1. Now I get it because
those
they were the
casters
underdogs.
need to lose their jobs. All of them.
I get it to a certain extent because G2 were the underdog, undefeated team going up against them, but it's like it's still day one, guys. It's day one, and you cannot just throw that at the wall and expecting that narrative to
unless
stick.
you're like making a joke, like I made a there was some truth for it, but it was also like partly a joke where I said if you're not predicting T1 to win this whole tournament, then you need to like you need to get out of here because obviously upsets can happen. Yeah, so I didn't mean that seriously, but I just said it because even with all the flaws you can point out about like T1, you can say the same with G2 and RNG coming into the tournament, except their high peaks that weren't the same as T1, so that's
Right, yeah.
why. But if you say something like that unironically though, like they did with G2, okay, yeah, never mind. You need to like find like a 50-foot like leap, just jump roll.
Dude, the whole G2 was trolling memes came back. I was like, guys, they are legitimately drafting like shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I'll show you guys how badly they were drafting as PSG talent. I will show you right now. Let me do some real actual drafting breakdown for you guys. Let me bring it up for you. How about I just factually show you what I'm talking about? It's going to be so much easier. PSG talent. There we go. So, because me and Sean were going back and forth on Twitter about that T1 G2 game, and that was one where it's like, okay, that's a really, me and my friend were going back and forth about that, and I was like, I could see where you guys are coming from. But then this draft is bad from G2. This is legitimately shit. Here, I'll show you right now. Here, I'll show you. Here we go. I think this was their second game against PSG Talent. It's the one where they drafted Corky. No, I think that was the other game. I think this is the one where they drafted Anivia into Galio. Is it this one? No. This is the wrong one. I need this one right here. This is the one we're talking about.
Oh, this is a great draft. What do you mean?
This draft. Yep, this is a draft. Okay, so my bad. The Galio pick was from the Fangfu Buffalo side. Okay, so this draft looks like
what do you
shit.
mean? This is great, man. What
I love this draft.
Corgi, Poppy. Well, that's a great ADC pick right there.
Oh Lord. So PSG's comp has Kennen, Lee Sin, Syndra, Tristana, and Rel. Now I know Rel had a huge comeback this tournament, and I like Rel. I actually think she's a cool support champion. Now PSG has Engage. Rel, they have Syndra stuns, Rel Engage, Lee Sin, Ward Hop Kick Flash. Then you also have Hanabi Kennen Slicing Maelstrom. So you have Engage, you have team fighting, you have side lane pushing, you have all in potential. Your burst damage with Syndra, Lee Sin, and Kennen is insane with your all in potential and your burst damage. What does G2 have? They have you have Nautilus knockup.
A jungler who can like knock away one person. They have.
I get the Poppy pick because you use it for disengage, but your entire ult is just disengage.
Yeah, no, Gwen and fucking Corey get fucking countered hard here.
All Syndra has to do is just shove. I'll call players by name so you guys know who I'm talking about here. Bay. All Bay has to do with Syndra is to shove Caps' Corky in. Bay gets to move on the map. The reason why people prefer mages, guys, here, I'll just explain it to you. Because a mage like Syndra, Victor, Azir, Orianna, Corky kind of counts as a mage-ish champion now too. When they can shove you in, when they can potentially now shove you in, you get to make the first move on the map. So let's just say I'm Syndra and Sean is Corky. Now, if I'm trying to prep a dive on the bot lane, how would I do that? I have to now shove you in because my champion is inherently stronger than you, go down bot and dive. Now, that inherently means you're going to be behind on tempo, the pace of the game.
And what I would do in that position is just flash the Yumi emote.
Then you have Broken Blade, and Broken Blade's not had a good tournament, guys. Like, I love G2, and I love RNG as well. They're my boys, but Broken Blade's not had a good tournament at all. You see that Riven game he was playing? You saw that Riven game? Holy shit, that was bad. Oh my lord.
Well, you should play that more often. That was pretty good.
So, like, right here, Caps, he obviously has to try and side lane push, because that's the thing. You want to use your Corky, put him in side lanes, push out the waves, use it for wave clear, all those many things. But they drafted Poppy as your disengage. Now, that makes sense, but Callista, I don't think does really do anything right here. Broken Blade, in this game specifically, kept getting caught out inside lanes. You also had the Gwen pick, which didn't really offer anything because he was just kind of playing Farm Simulator. You can see how the PSG draft was just so much better than G2's just by how much all-in potential they had and by how much they can actually just, I don't know, run at them and stun them.
Yeah,
and
but in defense to PSG though, I said every other win they've had this tournament was literally like the fucking teams throwing. It wasn't actually them doing anything well. This game, while the other team drafted poorly, it didn't involve them throwing at least, and PSG played this comp clean as
Good job,
fuck.
Caps.
So some credit there. Oh yeah, good job, Caps.
Caps was like, you know what? I want to get out of this game. Please get me out.
Flackid, he got 1 kill. Let's go.
Like,
Flackid's on a... Yo, remember the fucking Caps was like, oh my god, yes, the comeback, yes!
The comeback. They were 4,000 gold down. They lost
and they had
all their turrets.
Mostly early game comp, but yeah, the comeback.
And then what I also didn't really understand was that even just outside of Team 1, teams have just had really bad Baron calls throughout like the whole tournament. You know, they just had really bad Baron calls. I'm just being honest here. The Baron calls from a lot of these teams have not been good, namely Team 1. So this is an example of how G2 were just drafting really bad. They drafted even worse against Sanyu and Buffalo, actually. And I was sitting here going like, damn, these guys are actually drafting like shit. These guys are like, maybe their mental state was like, okay, we might have to try and like change up our play style, but you don't really want to like change up your play style in that moment, game to game, because you don't even know if you can really execute on that actual style of play in that moment against a different team with they themselves having a different play style. So that's my thing.
Listen, man, all I have to say is fucking Brazil should have been there.
Fuck
PSG.
Okay. Time to talk
PSG
about
literally just fucking were just sitting there, and other teams were like, "Here, have this win." Oh, thank you. Like all the fucking Rumble stage. Holy fuck.
This was the first game, G2 versus T1. You know, this is definitely a heated rivalry between these two organizations, and they get to clash again in the MSI semifinals this week coming up. I'm so hyped for this match, actually. You know, because, guys, I still get hyped for these matches. I still do. And, man, having this be a match in the semifinals.
Why don't you show the other one, MSK?
Oh, I have to build a narrative here. I have to build a narrative. No, but this one, I want to specifically just talk about the drafting. So even my friend and me talked about this too. So T1's comp is Kennen, Viego, TF, Tristana, and Rel. G2 have Orin, Diana, Yasuo, Callista, and Rakan. So T1's comp is all based around side lanes and having TF go around the map and using stun cards to get picks off. Then you have Rel engage. You have Rel engage, TF stun card, Kennen ult, Viego goes in. You guys understand that, right? Okay. You also have Tristana pushing down towers. That's great. G2's comp is all based in team fighting, the Diana Yasuo knockup combo, and Rakan also having a knockup in his kit as well. Then you also have Orin with his own knockup. So if he lands that, it's pretty much just a team fight composition all built around Yasuo and Diana. So if T1 do not explode the game to at least a 10,000 gold lead, T1's comp basically have to get so far ahead that it doesn't matter if G2 team fights into them.
But I don't like ever teams doing that. That's way too risky. It doesn't matter how you play. Fucking I hate Twisted Fate in these comps. I hate Rao is just not very useful when it comes to like trying to go into fucking comps like G2s with Yasuo and shit. I really did not like this comp from them. And the Viego, holy sort of God, it's like every fucking LCK and LPL jungler when they're like, okay, I'm gonna have a shit game, let's pick Viego. It's like that. That's like that's our signal for let's play shit every time.
So as you guys can see, T1 have to get ahead. Their comp is all based around getting so far ahead with using TF's altar on the map, Kennen flanking, or potentially diving with the Kennen You also have your rel to go in to set up your dives a lot easier as well. So their comp literally falls off around that timer you see right there, that 20-minute right there. That's when this comp effectively falls off. You had Owner who kind of more or less so prolonged that with that triple kill right
so
there.
I should correct myself though. That doesn't mean I'm saying they're playing bad on. They always play good on Viego because it seems like every fucking jungler knows how to play Viego. But their team always somehow, for some reason, loses while they do well.
Then right here is where G2 turns it around. So G2 know they have the better team fighting, so they just burst down one.
This is why they do not pick Ro in that comp.
So that's crazy. My friend also brought up the same thing as well. Yes, the rel pick doesn't really do anything with this specific comp past 20 minutes because the Rakan pick for the other comp is just simply better based on the champions that the Rakan pick team actually has. So G2 knew, I hope they knew this, that if you just simply burst down the rel and create a numbers advantage, because to be fair, even pro players, if you create a numbers advantage for certain teams, they're not going to fight you. That like, why would you fight a 4v5? Inherently, by the numbers aspect alone, you won't do that. Now, I get it that's going to get debated amongst a lot of people anyway, but then again, they burst down the rel, and then after that, this team fight looked pretty close. And then remember, Orin having great disengage against Viego, TF, rel, all of them. Like the Orin pick definitely is going to matter more than Kennen.
You can see the LCK crowd right there at the bottom right corner there. If you go back, their souls dying right there.
Zeus is like, you know what? You guys want to see a bad Kennen play? I got right there. I'm proving to you right there.
man, I just love watching the Korean fans like souls die.
Oh my god. So
holy fuck.
Right at this period point in the game, G2's comp is already online. Anytime they use their knockups, they're automatically going to get at least 2 kills.
Yeah, so how much were the EU casters sucking them dry during this game?
It was over 9,000. Good job, Carrier.
Yeah,
good job,
I think they
dude.
sucked them bone dry. It's like, oh my god, how are they doing it? It's not like T1 drafted a shitty comp that's now useless at this time in the game. Holy shit, now G2's just this amazing. They're gonna win fucking worlds, yeah.
And that's my thing as well. So if we go back to this moment right here in the game, okay, so right here in the game, this is how you know T1's comp is effectively over. This is right here where you know it. Even if T1 were to aggress onto them and try to get a pick on, and Kyria misses everything right there, doesn't matter. All Orin has to do is ult, knock up someone, Yasuo and Diana go in and kill two people instantly. Remember, just one knockup, have them kill the jungler kill 2 people. Then Yasuo went and killed another person.
Listen, Ryan, the TF pick can be really good. It's just for some reason, most of the time I see teams pick TF, the mid laner either is not using him at all to like any advantage, or they're just doing it in bad comps.
And even beside this game, guys, even teams like RNG, I know RNG is like they earned first place after the Rumble stage for MSI 2022. RNG has also not been challenged in a lot of their things. Like, guys, if you go back and watch when top esports were just basically inting their entire fucking spring split championship away from them, you could see where you can exploit RNG. But Gala has actually had a really good tournament, and so has Ben. And I think Gala and Ben are the 2 players, along with Ming, keeping the team afloat. Wei has been really effective, but he's only been really effective on Lee Sin, actually. So that's my thing. Even with this game is if T1 draft comps like that, they're not going to be doing very well, because a comp like that you literally would have to have a 10,000 gold lead by at least 20 minutes in the game for it to really matter. They didn't get that far, and it was shown that G2 team fighting comp just was way better. Now, I don't know how G2 went from drafting like this to drafting like the other game, because I think their brains just turned off for a little bit there. They're like, you know what? Yeah. Our brains don't need to work anymore. Who needs a brain, right?
Fucking, I swear to God, why do so many mid laners play TF like they're playing fucking Syndra, though?
I mean,
I'm getting sick of it.
I get why you pick TF ult.
Yeah, but they're not using him at all. His advantage is like, it's dumb.
So my thing, like, I get why you pick TF. You pick TF, you ult bot lane, you dive, you ult top, you dive, the stun card. I get it, but I don't think I don't think most teams have ever really truly effectively utilized TF.
Yeah, they haven't been. It's dumb. Just fucking pick Syndra or Rise.
I also wouldn't pick TF into Yasuo because, guys, even from the last game I just showed you, every single thing TF can do is essentially all based around that stun card. Yasuo just has one ability that negates that. One.
Mm-hmm.
So their entire ways of getting picks is ineffective, actually. Rakan could just, like, dash away so the stun card wouldn't matter as much because he's going to be next to a teammate.
Yeah, and what was Zeus playing again? And was he playing the Kennen? Yeah. I don't understand how he thinks he can go in with Kennen. He'll just get melted down fast later in the game, but okay.
Was this the game? Yeah, this was the game where EG taking down T1, baby.
Yippee! Yay, Zoe! Lol.
Yay!
What a shitty fucking comp. What is this?
Oh, good job, Vulcan. Good job, dude. Hell yeah.
Dude, Vulcan is just an international god, man. Holy fuck.
Oh my lord. So I watched this game and I was sitting here thinking to myself, God damn, NA, you are so good. NA is better than LCK if you win a meaningless best of one, guys. It's confirmed. It's confirmed. Yeah. If you win a meaningless best of one, you're the better region, even though the LCK has 3 fucking world titles.
Well, that's EU's logic, so might as well stick with it. I mean, to be fair, I don't think either of these comps were bad. I just think Faker.
Inherently, no. EG's comp is actually pretty good. Inherently,
I think both were. I just think T1 gave EG too many comfort picks, and I think Faker was just not.
Good job, Jojo Pion.
I don't think Faker was doing that well on Zoe this game. I think those were the 2 biggest things that cost them.
My thing here, also, as you guys, because people are going to want us to talk about Impact. Guys, I think Impact is really, really trying to get his team across the finish line. He is definitely trying, but Impact just isn't as good as Zeus. Like, Zeus won against Impact in both of the matchups differently, people.
I don't understand why they literally said they think they have a better top lane than RNG heading into the series. Like, I'm sorry, you can see the gap. That Impact's trying, but you can see the fucking gap.
Like, Impact is trying. I commend Impact for trying as much as he had this tournament. Impact is literally EG's MVP. If they didn't have Impact, oh my god, they would have not made Rumble Stage. Impact actually has been playing well for his standards, and he's did well
but
against
even then you see the skill gap. He's just not as good.
He's not as good as Zeus. He's not as good as Ben. Impact got solo killed. Impact and Broken Blade have the most solo killed deaths out of any top laners remaining. Impact and Broken Blade. Now, Broken Blade has also been playing bad. He's been playing legitimately bad as well, So my thing here is, like, I understand how EG could win the game. You have Nocturne go in with your, Galio would go in, Nocturne goes in, Nautilus knockups, Jinx, Super Mega Death Rocket would potentially have them all low enough where you can get resets. I understand what the comp is doing.
They should have just targeted fucking Danny. This is
dumb. Cobra, T1 needs to stop drafting comps like that. They need to stop drafting comps on timers.
Yeah, that's literally their fucking downfall. They always do that. That's always what costs them.
But because they get away with that in the LCK, you can't really get away with that kind of stuff internationally. I mean, you can against certain competition. Like, T1 could have these comps against a team like Dead Nation Fuck Me, because they're not going to really do anything against that. They're not inherently going to challenge them. But a team like
what was Faker
G2,
doing
RNG,
this game? What was he doing?
Good job, Zeus. Good job.
Good job. Yay.
Oh my god. They got all zoned away by Danny. Oh my god. And that's the thing, is T1, I don't know how they're going to draft against G2. It was shown in that one game that I showed you that G2 is not going to fall for that. The second game, it was pretty one-sided. But
seriously though, they should have just not went up on top lane so many times. They should have just let Zeus could have handled itself well. He didn't need all that bot lane, time and bot lane with his team. They should have just targeted. Top lane. My bad. They should have just went bot lane like fucking 4 times. Just keep camping Danny. That would have won them the game easily. And that
Cobra,
would have shut down his carry potential here.
Cobra, yes, I do agree with you. Zoe is bad for what this comp is trying to offer, but they were also winning the early game. And that's the thing with T1's comps, is that they inherently draft comps on timers. You have to win at a certain point in the game or your comp is essentially useless. they also win the early game, and they're not. I'm not saying they're bad at pushing leads, because it's shown they can push leads. They're bad at really capitalizing on leads that they get, because we've seen multiple times they try to do this. They're on these timer comps, what people like to call them now on Twitter. These like timer comps they have. They don't. Yeah. You have to your gold lead would have to be literally 10,000 fold for it to really matter.
I agree with you, Cabra, though, that the Zoe pick out of all 10
Zoe
picks here, the Zoe
Galio.
one is the one bad one. All the others are good.
Zoe does nothing into Galio. Zoe will do nothing against Nocturne, because he just obviously will turn the lights off.
Yeah, seriously, I think this is like the first time this MSI tournament where I didn't have fucking any problems with like 9 out of 10 picks. It's just a Zoe this game.
And that's the telling part about T1's strengths in the Rumble stage, guys, is how can they draft timer comps where you have to win at a certain period point in time, win the early game, and then don't win. So it's not really more or less so the picks. It's not their macro. It's not anything about that. It's just that their comps inherently
how did you not kill him there? Fuck's sake.
It's just inherently their comps are not fully putting out the strengths of T1's players. They're not. There's no like Guma Yusi. He's been having a rough tournament. Good job, Impact. Let's job, dude.
Impact. Oh fuck.
Oh fuck. Jesus Christ. Impact, I feel so bad for my boy.
Hey, look, the Korean fans are getting false hope there. Yippee!
That's what EG did. EG did that for false hope. That's what they did it for.
Yeah, so they can do their side-by-side comparison of them being excited.
You know what's so fucking disgusting about this game? It's like T1 are like, you know what? We threw one Baron against them. They kind of caught on to what we were doing. Let's just do it again, because that's the definition of insanity, guys. If it doesn't work once, try again.
Play. Look,
like, so T1 probably. Let's just be honest here. They disrespected them by trying to start that Baron. And then when EG showed that they're not going to fall for that, T1 is like, you know what? Let's just do it again. Because it definitely worked out well the first time.
So what was Faker? How effective was Faker here? Wow.
Good job, Faker.
He literally Faker. Maybe 2 damage there in that fight. Good job. What a great pick.
And Danny realized, if I don't die, we can win the game. That's it. And right here, they just pretty much win the game.
I get just camping fucking 5 times in bot lane in the early game with Faker coming down. They're done. The end. This game's over. Why didn't they do that?
Like, Zoe should have been easily able to just burst down Jinx if they got a big enough Goldie. Good job, Faker. He got vexed to a Galio. He's like, I know there's 5 people there, but I'll just stay right there and just die. Good lord. Oh, good God.
Yeah, this is Faker's worst game this tournament.
God. Obviously. Yeah, Zoe is actually a bad pick there. I definitely agree with that. Yes. It's just, God, man. T1, they're doing it to themselves, man. I don't know what they're trying to prove. They can prove that they can win early game with these kind of comps. I mean, it's very shown they can win early game, but these kind of comps don't do it for them.
Yeah, I think they need to pick Sona Tarek in their G2 matchup.
I think if they hover Sona and Tarek, I'm gonna inherently cry because I don't want to watch that ever again. That's fucking horrible.
Why? What? They play really well on it. Did you not see that one game?
Hey, I think wasn't that one of the fastest international victories ever?
It was the
so garbage.
IG baby, and then they're like, let's just go home early against Team Liquid. Yay!
GP outscales Gwen. Nocturne does better later on in the game than Lee Sin. Galio definitely outscales Zoe, especially in everything involved with his kit. Jinx definitely outscales Callista, and Niles and Tark are pretty much even. So yeah, EG's comp is better as the game moves forward.
It's just dumb. They had the easiest strategy ever, just go down the bot lane a bunch of times, and they didn't.
Good job, Vulcan. Good job, dude. You're the best.
God fucking Vulcan. I love how Peter Dunn's just on fucking Twitter all the time, just like, gee, I wonder why Cloud9 got rid of fucking Vulcan. Could really use a support like them, right? This is why, dumbass. Yeah, he'll do well regionally. He has never done well internationally. Never.
Holy shit. That game was a fucking shit show. And they should be proud of that. Because right there, guys, that win against T1 effectively got them out of the MSI 2022 Rumble stage. That is a clutch win that they needed, and I'm glad they could be clutch in those kind of moments, because other NA teams, if you needed them to win that match, it was looking pretty dicey
yeah,
there.
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna like say any names here, you know, like Team Liquid,
Team Liquid. Oh fuck! Yo, you having a stroke over there? Holy shit!
Yeah, my bad. You know, but yeah, I didn't say any teams there. But anyway,
like EG has a worse record against EU teams, but hey,
yeah.
they still managed to make it out of the groups. They did better than Cloud9 this year at MSI than you know. That's
you
good.
know, I think I figure it out. You know, whenever Vulcan plays like internationally or like in any finals where he plays bad under those moments, he always wears like those glasses on stage. I think what happened is he's like blind. He's wearing his blind glasses. You know, that would explain a lot.
So then on Twitter, Danny was getting a lot of flame, and I think he definitely deserved it. He was definitely playing bad. Danny has not had a good tournament, guys. Like, I know they got out of the fucking Rumble stage, but Danny's not had a good tournament. Danny's had a really bad laning phase.
I mean, I don't understand though people criticizing the casters for hype. Like they're gonna like Danny's literally like the biggest reason why they made it to MSI and won LCS and with those like hairy moments and those pentakills. All right. And coming into the tournament, the casters each hype up they hype up each team and they highlight a player to look out for. So why would they not hype up Danny after all that and as like the one of their NA players? Like what? Why would they not? That wasn't them sucking him off or hyping up saying he's like the best ADC in the tournament. They're just I don't get people now criticizing for it. It's dumb. It's not like what G2 did saying, yeah, they're the best team in the world. Fuck off.
Holy shit.
But yeah, he deserves some flame though. Yeah.
My thing here is if these casters who claim to watch the LCS after, well, not the actual NA casters, like if anyone in general, whether if you're an analyst, a person who talks about League of Legends, a person who writes about League of Legends on the various credible sites that post League of Legends information, if you watch the LCS, Danny has had a bad laning phase, guys. He's had a bad laning phase, and we talked about this before.
Yeah, but I did say, though, I don't think it's as bad as you were saying, but
it's going to be even worse.
Asterisk. I said not as bad as you were saying.
But then what did I say? I also said it's going to be even worse against international caliber competition.
Yes, well, that's what I was saying. I said it's not as bad as you're saying regionally because none of the teams taken advantage of it. So he was okay in lane still with him and Vulcan. Obviously, regionally, though, But I mean, you should be flamed more on Twitter, though. Fucking Vulcan, the last like 6 international events, he's been dog shit. Where's his flame? Why are you flaming the guy's first international event? Where's his?
Like, compare Danny's performance against Flackett. Now, I know people have their issues with Flackett later on, obviously, the last losing streak they had. But Flackett's actually been very good. Like, overall, Flackett and Torgamas have been very good for G2. Like, outside of their loss streak that G2 had, they actually have been performing very well. Like, Flackett, who's considerably a rookie, and I guess you can say quotations, asterisks there, a rookie. Flackett's played way better than Danny. He's arguably what Danny should be right now. Flackett's played very well. And I mean, I don't want to be that guy to say these kind of things, but it doesn't really matter if he's a rookie, guys. He's going to an international competition. He will be judged his whole career pretty much off this one international tournament. If this was any other player, you would flame them. He gets the same amount of treatment that everybody gets. Just because you're a rookie doesn't mean that absolves you from getting flamed. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter if you're a rookie, a veteran. Doesn't matter. Vulcan's been not getting enough flame, in my own personal opinion. He's been playing pretty bad, actually. I don't know how. Like, Vulcan inherently was face-checking everything, just giving over free deaths constantly. A lot of the times that EG even lost was because Vulcan kept face-checking and dying consistently. Guys, this is consistently. This is not just like one time he's doing this. It's like, I get it. You have to go and get vision. I understand that. But like the amount of times he got caught out and gave over an advantage, it's like, come on. Like, I think Danny and Vulcan are going to have a really big, tough time with Gala and Ming, like, going into that best of 5. But this is the thing, guys, is EG were definitely stronger in best of 5s than BO1s. I know a lot of people pointed that out, and that's definitely point you would want to bring up. They are better in best of fives. Best of ones are just so volatile, and I don't know why a lot of people like don't understand that though. Like, if you acknowledge that BO1s are volatile, and you acknowledge that a team is not good in BO1s, like Mad Lions are not good at BO1s, then if you say their strengths is at best of fives, then in best of fives, you could give them more leeway and go, okay, they can adapt to this, they can change to this. I don't know. Like, that could be a thing, but it's not an absolute guarantee. So that's my thing is, yes, EG did not look that good in the LCS 2022 Spring Split regular season, but in playoffs, they definitely turned it on against LCS caliber teams.
Now, I wanted to get into some roster stuff now.
Roster stuff? Okay.
Yes, so the first one I wanted to say,
hold on.
You, I proved you wrong, you motherfucker.
I said, hold on, and this man's still going. We gotta do our predictions for the
Nah, fuck you. Okay, fine, predictions.
We gotta do our predictions.
Fuck
all right, guys,
I
who's winning?
Wrong, and I'm gonna say why.
You're gonna get I'm definitely not ever proven wrong. I'm a fucking genius. What are you talking about?
Well, listen, it might have just been because the player previously was that fucking bad that he's an upgrade. But I proved you wrong, bitch. Anyway, get to the predictions.
All right. So where are we at right now for MSI? Okay. So RNG faces EG first. Hold on. I got
RNG.
1 second. Because I want to make sure we do them all at once. I'm pretty sure the finals weekend is all going to be taking place at once. I'm pretty sure. I just want to make sure I double check that. I don't want to watch college championships. College champion. You know, watch KKK6 versus Ass and Dick. You want to watch that? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, yeah. So it's all going to be determined.
Okay, so 3-0 RNG.
3-0 RNG.
Yes, 3-2 Team 1. And I'll say 3-2 T1.
RNG 3-1. I think EG would get a game. I think they definitely would get a game.
I was thinking about giving them a game, but nah.
RNG are going to beat the actual shit out of them like they did in the previous round. T1 versus G2. Oh, I'm going with my boys G2. Get into the finals, baby. EU versus China in the finals.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I just think their coaching staff on T1's going to straighten them up, and they've got to more the hang of like the pin now this weekend. So,
okay, so in my predictions, RNG and G2 would face in the finals. Who would win MSI then? Because you have RNG and T1 getting to the finals. So who would win out of yours?
Well, I said T1 3-2. I think even though RNG is the better team this tournament, I think T1 will pull it off. So
you think T1 are winning the tournament?
Yeah, and as long as Gumayushi doesn't int that badly, even though RNG is the better team, I think. Also, because I really don't want RNG to win, that would just be laughable. 3 MSIs, no worlds.
I want that for the memes. What are you talking about? I need that for the memes. I needs it.
That would just make MSI even more useless than it already is.
No, I mean, it still counts as an international tournament.
Shut the fuck up. Do you count those fucking MasterCard tournaments still?
I mean, these are worth more than IEMs. That's a step up in the right direction, right?
Remember when TSM actually thought they won worlds from that IEM?
They thought they're one of the best teams in the world.
Every team won an IEM, so has Cloud9, and you literally faced fucking WE, who was last place in LPL when they went to the finals against them.
And this is the thing, is TSM thought they were the best team in the world after they won the IEM, and then went to MSI and got absolutely just worse than shit stomped.
Not only is it stupid enough because every team wins a fucking IEM at that time, but
dude, Unicorns of Love won an IEM at one point. Unicorns of Love.
Yeah.
Dumb. All right, G2 are winning MSI 2022. I believe in the West to get another title. I believe, man. The biggest underdogs here. So I think G2 are going to win the tournament. I think it's going to be an RNG G2 finals. But what if EG managed to upset RNG? Because EG are the biggest underdogs right now out of the top 4 major regions. Let's be honest, they're the biggest underdogs. What if EG beat RNG and beat, let's say, G2 in a rematch for NA versus EU rivalry in the finals of MSI, avenging Team Liquid? Or Or if, let's say T1 get to the finals. What if EG win MSI 2022? That'd be insane, actually. That would be, like, if they actually win MSI, that is NA's first international trophy ever, with huge asterisks around it, which is going to be so stupid. The first time NA might actually win a trophy, it's going to have the hugest fucking asterisks around it, you know? Like, whew, I don't think EG are going to be beating RNG, but I'll say this, guys. If EG win out semifinals and finals weekend for MSI 2022, that's really huge for NA. It is. Because the last other three remaining teams are definitely the strongest teams remaining. Like T1's
well,
definitely
even if they
strong.
just make the finals, they get an extra seed.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Oh, that's really. Oh, hell yeah, dude. You're gonna have Cloud9, Team Liquid, 100 Thieves, and EGM Worlds. Oh, that's crazy. But listen, guys, I want G2 to win. I think they're gonna win the tournament. But if EG upset RNG and make the finals, in my mind, they don't have to win. Making the finals is already incredible enough as it is. In my mind, finals is good enough for them. And if they manage to win the finals, that's going to give NA fans ultra mega copium. Like ultra.
Yeah. Imagine if EU got the 4th seed and then Misfits made it to Worlds.
Oh, goodbye. If Misfits fucking go to the Worlds, I'm gonna cry. So yeah, guys, I think G2 are winning the tournament. If not, I would love RNG, baby. RNG, you know I love you, but you can't beat G2. The Cap's baldness hairline is too strong. And Yankos is now dating a Korean girl. Just like I when Yankos was dating that Korean girl, I pictured myself dating her. So I got to picture myself in these G2 players.
Okay, you picture yourself next to a trash can. That's what.
All right, guys. So yeah, Sean has T1 winning the tournament. Yes. I have G2 winning it. I really hope, in the back of my head, I really hope EG win MSI, and I really hope they get to the finals. That would be so huge for NA. If you're an NA fan, if EG win, like imagine EG coming back into the LCS after leaving so long, coming back, struggling to get even to like a 3rd place match, finally winning a trophy, going to MSI and winning the first ever international trophy for NA. That would be like the narratives, the storylines, just out of this world. Are like I don't want to live in a world with them, but they'll be so good for NA.
Yeah. Okay, so for roster things I want to talk about. I don't have any articles, just list them off. But okay, so first off, let's get to the biggest one, Immortals. They finally did what many other LCS teams are fucking idiots not to do. They got Kenvi. Finally. He has just been Kenvi. Dominating the fucking circuit for ages. He's like 18 jungler. He has so much potential. It's like the next Blabber, except doesn't int like him.
Oh my god. This guy and his love for these randoms.
This guy's gonna kick ass with Power of Evil.
Hell yeah, dude, Power of Evil.
Yes, big prospect. And then they also got Lost to replace Arrow and Wild Turtle.
Oh, give me the Lost article.
Well, I don't have an article for it. You would have to search it up yourself. But I'm just reading off of like the LCS wiki.
The black guy doing all the work here, guys. That's what we do.
But so their roster is Revenge, Kenvi, Power of Evil, Lost with Sterile, Arrow, and I believe Wild Turtle in the system, and Ignar. That is definitely an upgrade. Now, ADC is still questionable, but Lost did improve this year. He did improve a lot, especially with a support like fucking Ole. Now, he's still like bottom of the pack, though, like 7th or 8th ADC, but the ADCs in LCS are fucking stacked, so that's still pretty good. That's like solid enough for NA ADCs if your rest of your team is good and can like elevate him. So yeah, I mean it's an upgrade definitely, and since they had the 2 fucking last place fucking ADCs in the league, Arrow and Wild Turtle, so anything's a fucking upgrade. And then yeah, Ignar is definitely an upgrade, although I still would have maybe went with another one, but yeah, still, I mean, it could be a good combo there. Great engages. And then yeah, Power of Evil's great. Kenvi's an upgrade. Yeah, we still have Revenge there, inting his ass off, but whatever.
No, Revenge is gonna be in the LCK. I heard he's joining Damwon next split.
Oh yeah, nice. I mean, it would be an upgrade over Bertle, so
good God. So Kenvi is joining Immortals. I think that's good because, as you guys know, Xerxes is going to be on Astralis with Kabe and Vizicachi. That old splice lineup. Get the boys back together, baby.
Yeah. Again, the fact that no team had Kenvi on their roster to start the season is just insulting. But whatever. That NA doesn't actually scout. They just pick, who they know. So
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? That's why it took fucking Neo so long to get the LCS. But anyway,
here I
then
have the articles
Golden
right
Guardians, who are they replacing them for their ADC? They're just having Stixay back in. I mean, what do you think about that? I am so confused by that.
They benched Stixay for Lost, and then we're like, you know what? Stixay, remember all those titles we won? Remember all those trophies we got together? Remember all those semi-final finishes we had? No, they never existed, guys. That never happened. That legitimately never happened. Stixay is bad, guys. Stixay is bad. I understand.
It's insane, though, that he was on one org for like 7 years, as long as Sneaky and Bjergsen on Cloud9 and TSM.
That's crazy thing about, yeah.
Yeah, he was like that for CLG. That's the crazy thing. But
so my thing here is this is just bad roster decisions. And I know that Golden Guardians picked up leader for their academy team. Guys, I'm being honest here because this is what happens all the time. I've seen this a number of times. I've seen it too many times too, and I know exactly what's gonna happen. If a Blaze Olive starts playing badly, because he actually did very well last play. He actually did very well.
He was like fucking top 4 easily. He was on my old pro team.
If he plays bad and Golden Guardians have a slight losing streak, you can see them putting in leader. They'll change up the roster
be like
enough.
On the fucking Yasuo, yeah, baby.
I could see a world where a Blaze Olive or the team starts underperforming. They want to do like a little bit of a switch up to try and make things different, and they put in leader. There's no way you grab leader and you just stick him in academy. But this is what I've always told people though. Leader is I didn't like Leader on Vitality that last play he played. I thought he played pretty bad. But Leader himself is not a bad player. And against the LCS mid laners right now, with the talent pool being so bad, Leader could easily perform very well on Golden Guards Academy and then potentially get picked up for an LCS team if they want to have an upgrade in the mid lane. Like, LCS mid laners guys were looking really, really suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty suspect this fucking split. So
yeah, I'm just so confused. I understand that loss. Like, they fed him a lot of resources, so maybe they wanted someone who takes less resources in ADC. But he successfully used those resources to split. Lost majority of the time when they gave
because of that last series against Cloud9 where he was literally invisible. We just did like nothing.
Yeah, but but that was just a team gap, all right? That's what happens when you sign when your players are Ole and fucking holy fuck. When your best player is like a bit washed licorice, then yeah, I mean you don't have much hope. That's not his fault, but whatever.
Sources: Immortals signed Kenvi until 2024. He will be replacing former Immortals jungler Xerxes.
Yes, this is genius, but whatever.
Kenvi signed with Immortals until the end of 2024. Sources told Upcomer on Thursday. He will compete in the League of Legends Championship Series this summer. Kenvi signing was first reported by Blix.gg. Kenvi is a player that grew quickly in the North American scene. At first, he was acquired by 100 Thieves Next, an amateur team, in 2021. The following summer split, 100 Thieves promoted him to their academy team in 2022. Kenvi and 100 Thieves Academy finished second place at the LCS Spring Proving Ground. Many North American teams were eyeing Kenvi for their potential future LCS rosters. Locking Kenvi in now is a big acquisition for Immortals.
Yeah, why didn't they do that earlier, those fucking idiots? And they should have did the same thing with Value. Now they have fucking a three-way combo with Lost, Wild Turtle, and Arrow. What a great ADC lineup. Instead of just trying out Value, whatever.
Immortals, who finished 10th in the LCS Spring Split, have brought in a couple of other new talents as well. Bot laner Lost and support Ignar also signed with the team. Lost was acquired by Immortals via a player trade with Golden Guardians and not a buyout, sources told Upcomer, following a report on him signing with the organization. Immortals sent top laner Concept to Golden Guardians Academy as a player trade. With top laner Revenge, Lost, and Kenvi, Immortals are building a young core of North American residents Ignar, and mid laner Power of Evil, who is also staying with the team, will fill up the 2 import slots for now. Yeah, Power of Evil gets to reunite with Ignar because they had a lot of success on FlyQuest back in 2020 and Misfits. So
yeah, I just listen, I just think there are just better ADCs in like the NA circuit that I think they could try out. And Golden Guardians over Lost and Stixxay.
That guy Kaori on EG Academy. Yeah, that guy's awesome.
There's just many others. Even fucking King would be probably an upgrade over fucking Lost and Stixxay. Like, there are so many ADCs in the circuit that I just don't understand why they aren't given a chance over guys like fucking Wild Turtle still. It's so weird. Like, the NA ADC pool is stacked. Just like...
Immortals also consider jungler Svenskeren for this position. The Danish jungler is in the process of getting his green card per sources. Okay.
I thought he already got it, but...
Now we have the other piece of news, which is Dignitas signed Gamsu as top laner after 7 years away from the team.
Bitch, okay, listen, it might have been just because Fake God's a fucking... Was that fucking trash and the NA fucking top lane pool is trashed, so it was an upgrade, but I told you... he would somehow climb his way at like fucking 28 years old into the ALCS somehow, even if it was just being subbed in for a couple games. I told you, bitch.
Oh my goodness. Because I mean, Gamsu was on Dignitas back in 2015. Oh God.
Yeah, with poor JJ as ADC.
Didn't he have fucking Apollo on that team as well?
I don't remember, but yeah, Core JJ was the ADC on Dig.
No, Apollo was on Tip with Impact. I remember that. Oh Lord. Remember they had that one top laner Dignitas back when they had Billy Boss?
Hell yeah. Hey, remember Winter Fox's top laner? What a great guy, Cillian. That guy was literally like a bronze player whose brother was just like convinced the LCS team, this guy's a superstar in Korea, and then he imported and he's literally like the worst LCS player of all time now. Literally makes Aika look good.
Dignitas signed Gamsu as top laner after 7 years away from the team. Gamsu is back in the LCS after a long break. After a break of 7 years from the League of Legends Championship Series, Dignitas Quantum Pay have signed Korean top laner Gamsu for the 2022 summer split. League of Legends insider Alejandro Gomez broke the news for Blix.gg. Well, I guess I have to now use Blix.
Yeah, but I don't understand. I don't think people understand how insane this is, though. How the guy literally...
It's actually a great storyline, actually.
Yes, I don't know how he'll play. Probably not too well, but it's such a feel-good moment. Like, this guy literally leaves to another esports Overwatch league for years, which is, fucking trash. So let's not talk about that trash. He's fucking dead esport. But yeah, wins the title there. Then comes back in like 2019 at like 26 years old. A year later, finally signs with an amateur, not even academy team, amateur team, 100 Thieves next. Climbs his way somehow at like 28 years old onto their academy team. And then somehow fucking and 100 Thieves is a team filled with superstars, and then just Gamsu as the weak link, but then somehow climbs his way onto an LCS spot here. Like, that is insane, especially as not only an old player, but an old top laner. It's even fucking rarer. Like, this is insane. This is literally the Vizichachi story.
Gamsu formerly played for Dignitas from late 2014 to late 2015 before switching games and eventually competing in the Overwatch League. Now, after retiring from Overwatch, he has fought his way back to the LCS after a strong stint on 100 Thieves Academy. It's been 7 years, but he's back. Just like my dad, he's coming back, guys. No, it's not going to happen. Gamsu returns to Dignitas. Gamsu initially impressed by helping 100 Thieves Next, the organization's amateur team, qualify and compete in tournaments like Challengers Uprising Season 3. Most notably, he helped the team reach a third-place finish at EGL Summer Showdown 2021. When he was promoted alongside Next teammate Chad to 100 Thieves Academy, everything clicked. In his first tournament with the roster, they won the LCS Proving Ground Summer 2021. With the two new players, the roster made a mark as the best academy team in the region. Gamsu continued to show what he could do, finishing second place in the NA Scouting Grounds in 2022. As the new year came around, he remained on 100 Thieves Academy despite many other changes. Gamsu was the only returning player from that 2021 Academy roster, but team continued to fight against the best academy and amateur teams. In the LCS Proving Grounds Spring 2022, Gamsu proved the title last summer was no fluke by finishing second place with an entirely new cast around him. So when 100 Thieves announced Gamsu was departing, the hint of a promotion to a major league seemed possible. Dignitas's future with Gamsu. If there is one thing that Gamsu is known for in his league career, it is consistency. With this signing, he is one of the few players in esports history to have played at the top level in 2 different esports 3 separate times: Fnatic, Shanghai Dragons, and now Dignitas. His experience in esports at only 27 years old is immense. Now the oldest player on Dignitas, he can add another veteran presence to the rest of the Dignitas roster. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, Dignitas, we know, guys, definitely needed an upgrade in top lane. I don't know why they even kept Fate God going into this year alone. I don't know why they kept him.
But
like, if he's really performing, I saw his games from the Proving Grounds, actually. He played really well, and I was like, wait, if he's playing this well in Academy and teams are still opting into keeping Fate God, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, to be fair, he was like one of the if not the weakest link on like the 100 Thieves Academy team.
Because that's my thing, dude, is what are some of these teams doing in terms of roster building? Like,
well, they don't scout. They just get who their friends are, you know? That's why Wild Turtle got an LCS spot this year still.
Yeah, because he played with fucking Power of Evil.
Yeah, Power Evil convinced, hey, if you want me, you have to get Wild Turtle. Right? Fuck value, fuck Kaori. You got to get him.
Oh my god. That's just some weird, stupid shit. Like, going into this year alone, they still opted in to fucking pick up Fake. They still opted into keeping Fake God. Like, what the absolute fuck, dude? Holy shit, man. All right, the last thing we're going to go over today, guys, for this episode of the Cloud9 podcast is the Cloud9 video that came out a bit ago. Because I know a lot of people talked about, like, why did they get rid of Jensen? To be fair, guys, look at it this way. They got rid of Jensen, but they still proved they could win without Jensen. When they got rid of Jensen, they won 2 titles without him. Because remember, Jensen never won titles for Cloud9. They won titles with
and it would have been 3 if it wasn't for Reapbird. Good job, buddy.
So after Cloud9 got rid of Jensen and he went to Team Liquid to form that super team back in 2019, in 2020 spring, they went with Niski. 2021 spring, they went with Perks. They make it to MSI without Jensen. They also make it out of groups without Jensen. Every single thing mostly that Jensen did and didn't do for them, Cloud9 did without Jensen. The only thing Jensen never did for them was go to MSI with them and win a title. Cloud9 went to MSI without Jensen. They won titles without Jensen after a long period without having him, and they made out of groups without him. So Cloud9 has factually shown to you they could do it without Jensen. But after the split, they had some issues with LS and the roster that he brought on.
Yeah, so basically what happened was, Jack would. No, I can't say the fucking. I would get canceled. Forget it. I'm not saying the fucking joke. I'm sorry.
Summit, like, this is the thing. Blabber said they wanted to move on from, playing with Summit. I mean, we all could have noticed that by how badly Summit was playing. Now, I get it. It wasn't all his fault. And I think if they had been able to tame Summit and shape his values and views of League into their organization, he could have been the best LCS top laner ever. He could have been like the Shy for LCS. He really could have. He had that amount of potential. Just wasn't going to work out. Then there was those rumors that Summit could have went to TSM. That's just Summit. That's just death. Don't do that. That's going to kill your career. Don't do that at all. Please don't go to TSM. That's stupid. But Cloud9 Jack showed he can do well without Jensen. But just, right now you kind of need him back. And I think they'll be with each other for a long time. Like, Jensen also, if you look at it from a Jensen point of view, Jensen didn't win titles with Cloud9. He won it with Team Liquid. Jensen himself got to MSI without Cloud9. Jensen himself also pulled off one of the biggest upsets ever when Team Liquid took down IG. They made it to MSI finals. So I think when Jensen and Cloud9 split from each other, I think it was beneficial for both parties at that time. Both of them needed to grow in different ways, and they did grow. Jensen got what he wanted. Cloud9 got what they wanted. Both parties won. That's so rare in League to have that, but it happened. Jensen won titles without Cloud9. got to a high placing at international events without Cloud9, just the one
Mhm.
event. Cloud9 won titles without Jensen, got out of groups without Jensen. I mean, that's great. I just think at that time they needed to split from each other, you know? And here was the video that everyone kept raging about. Like, guys, this is a pretty well done video here. I don't know why people were bitching and moaning about this.
People were bitching.
You should read the comments. This is
Did not have the best spring performance, and we need to make some adjustments to make sure that we can actually return to going to Worlds. Me personally, in the 10 years of managing teams, I've only missed Worlds one time. I never want to make sure, like, I never want that to happen again. I know Jensen has never missed Worlds, so I'm really excited that he's here.
Yeah, I mean, the plan is to keep that trend going. So see you guys at Worlds.
NA's last hope. I love how they just added that on there. I love that shit.
All right, so just to be really clear, I know there's a lot of rumors out there, guesswork, what we're doing with our roster. A lot of it's been right. So Fudge going from mid up to top. We have Blabber.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes. Fudge goes back to top lane. Thank you, Jack. Please.
In jungle. Jensen is taking mid. We have Berserker in the AD carry position, and Sven is coming in.
What do you mean? Please, man. Fudge is really good in mid.
So am I good at picking up girls by that logic?
Hey, listen, nobody said Fudge would be amazing in mid lane. Not me or Warren. We said he would be good enough. And he was good enough, and he was literally their best player in playoffs. Obviously, you need somebody better for mid lane, and he's not good enough like to make it out of groups and shit. We weren't saying it, but it was his first split. If he continued to play mid, he could have grown more like
he would have been just
top.
as good as Pole Belter. That's his ceiling.
That's all. And yeah, which is, I mean, hey, it's good enough with role swapping. Hey,
give me a second. I'm having this tab over here. What the fuck was that? Okay.
Something that's also new and exciting is that he got his green card just recently. So he's all NA all the way.
We love NA.
Yeah, we love NA.
I guess entering the offseason, Cloud9 didn't have the results they expected. And
that's definitely true. Yeah. Like, they got pretty handily smacked around in playoffs by 100 Thieves and EG. They actually only defeated a team that was just arguably worse than them, which is crazy.
And, you know, I reached out to them to hear if there was any interest, and immediately, you know, I know that they have goals of making it to Worlds and just having good international runs, and it seems like we kind of just aligned on the same idea that we want to be a competitive team, and yeah, I mean, it just made sense.
In the off season of last year, we were actually really interested in having Jensen join our team, but there was these massive buyouts that are kind of in the way of making something like that happen. So I looked at other opportunities that didn't have those issues to stop it. But now those problems are gone, and we really need him more than ever. So it was really, you know, fantastic fit.
So I guess the systems weren't working out with LS.
yeah. You should go to that part in the video.
When I reached out to him to talk about the team we were building, he was really interested in what we were doing. And I know I had Blabber going, you need to make this happen. I had Fudge saying, you need to make this happen. I had Sven saying, you need to make this happen. So we made it happen.
Going into the offseason, we wanted to move away from working with Summit.
Whoa. Why didn't Berserker say anything? What the fuck, man?
I think he was out of the country. No, he was out of the country.
You have to say it in Korean, Jack. You need to make this. How do you see you need to make this happen in Korean? What is it called?
They wanted to move away from working with Summit. So if people go like, but he was playing so well. But yeah, if the players themselves don't want to play with the guy, then it doesn't matter.
The guy's too selfish.
And we thought the best option that we have for top lane would just to have Fudge go back, because top lane options are a lot more limited, in my opinion, than mid lane options. As well as Fudge was already really good at top previously. So we wanted to move him back top, and that meant that we were gonna have to look for like a new mid laner. And like there are some EU options that we also were looking at for sure. But one of the first people that came to my mind was Jensen, just because for me, I've wanted to work with Jensen in the past. Like after we stopped working together, I had a good time playing with him. I've always thought he was very talented, and I wanted to play with him again. So I was definitely one of the people pushing for Jack to pick up Jensen. And in the end, they were able to come to an agreement. Yeah, so that's pretty much how it happened.
Yeah, look, Fudge right there was like, "Why am I being held hostage right here for this YouTube video?" He's like, I just wanna go out and get hot ladies in LA, just like I'm able to do actually.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps fucking chatting with like Chinese ladies on Twitter or some shit.
Like I see myself in Fudge generally. I see myself in all these
No,
different white men.
you see yourself in fucking what's a good example for MSK? He sees himself in fucking Destiny stuck in Academy right now. There.
Holy shit. Oh my goodness.
Actually, I was a bit worried about picking up Jensen just because I didn't have a very good first impression of him. But then Blabber sort of convinced me to talk to him. Blabber and Sven convinced me to talk to him to at least see how the conversation goes. And I think after talking to him, I was pleasantly surprised with how willing he was to. There was like bad rumors about him, I guess, as a teammate, but I think he was able to address them really calmly and objectively. And I liked my conversation with him a lot, which made me very willing to work with him because I think he's really, really good as a player. And my only like possible worry with him was possible like team dynamic issues. But after talking to him, I'm pretty happy to play with him.
And then I pushed personally to get Jensen in the team. I think that
so crazy how like he was the guy who made fun of Jensen being short in that finals back in 2019, and they're on the same team together. That's crazy. And people were bitching and moaning about that too. I was like, guys, stop it. He's just fucking around with him. You guys have no sense of humor. But
yeah, well, I mean, that's League fans for you. What are you gonna do?
I swear, League fans have like no sense of humor, dude. Like you can't have fun
NA
with none of
fans
these
are
people.
soft as fuck.
So like, guys, I'm glad that Jensen's back on Cloud9. It would be great if he could win a title for Cloud9. That's the thing. A lot of people are predicting that they could win the LCS 2022 Summer Split. But remember, you also have teams like 100 Thieves and Team Liquid who will also want to have a word with them as well. That EG versus the 100 Thieves rematch is about to be spicy as fuck. But, you know, I think the league scenes right now have a lot of nice, healthy rivalries. Not the NA versus EU rivalry. That is just toxic as hell. But it's just fun to have these rivalry matches in general. But I'm glad that Jensen could move on from Cloud9, get what he needed 1 year, and then the following year, Cloud9 could get what they needed, which was winning a title. And then that's the thing. Jensen probably thought, you know, that Cloud9 couldn't really beat him, you know? And remember, Cloud9 beat Jensen in playoffs, actually, as well. So that's the thing. You know, I'm glad both parties managed to get what they needed. And I think people said that the Team Liquid roster could essentially blow up if they don't win Summer. Like, if the Team Liquid roster cannot win Summer, that is really telling, actually. That is just really, really, really bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, they should have whatever.
They should have whatever. That's a great.
I just don't understand why they thought Kenvi wouldn't be a good fit for them. Letting a young carry jungler like it, you know, do work. Whatever, it would have been a good fit, but whatever. Now Immortals has him. They might ruin him, but you know, we'll see.
So my thing here is, I just hope it works out for Cloud9, guys. As you guys know, I love Cloud9. Like, all the teams in my Twitter bio are the ones I actively try to support, you know, and Cloud9 is one of the main ones, and I hope they do very well. You know, I hope G2 wins MSI 2022 when we get a chance to talk about the MSI 2022 semifinals and finals matchups, actually, coming into the Cloud9 podcast next week. Sorry there wasn't a Cloud9 podcast last week. I just chose to take a break, and between the minor region slaughter stage versus the rumble stage, it was just so close together. I just didn't have enough time.
I am so worried right now. It's Sven plays poorly in the role swap position. That means you know who's gonna play then.
Your favorite LCS player is coming up to play. Come up to bat.
I am gonna slit my fucking wrists if that happens.
But look at it this way, dude. He's definitely going to do very well on Cloud9 because Cloud9 systems are better than Immortal systems.
Yeah,
making him a much better support player.
Yeah, you know, he blocks a lot of damage on Twitter, you know, with a hammer. I mean, he can't really block much damage in game though. Sorry.
Like, My thing here with MSI 2022, guys, is I think MSI next year needs a format change. I would love double elims and just make it so the minor regions have a chance to compete. It's better if minor regions compete against each other consistently to build up their confidence rather than facing teams like T1, RNG, where they're just going to get slaughtered. They're just going to get slaughtered. And I think that's not fair to them, you know? Like, I get people want to meme on NA.
Yeah, I get
but
it.
let's be honest here. NA literally whooped the shit out of the minor regions. They beat PSG, Bumble Buffalo, and Order pretty convincingly. I mean, if that doesn't convince you right there of their record against wildcard regions, wildcard teams and minor regions, I don't know what to tell you. You're just living in delusion at that point. You know, if you want to live in delusion, that's up to you. But I'm not living in delusion. I live in the real world, actually. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Sorry there wasn't an episode last week. I also needed a break, not from just the channel. I'm not burned out or anything like that. It's just like, you know, I never had a break from this channel. So I just want to take a little break, reset, and then, yeah, back at full force. If there's any news, I'll definitely put those videos out. But yeah, it's mostly just going to be waiting for MSI 2022 and just the prep that goes with that.
It's just crazy how a team literally wins twice against an MSI team who went 4-0 but didn't make it out.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also there's this massive record that Azale put out. Like the major regions really, really dominated this MSI. And if this doesn't show you that they're like the gap is just the gap was always never there. The minor regions just got lucky when they got their wins. Now, I'm not saying that it's luck because I'm salty. I'm saying it was luck because it's not a consistent thing. When I value luck, it's more like it's not consistent enough to really build up the huge sample size to go like, okay, they're better. Like that one Pentanet win meant nothing. It literally meant nothing. So if you factor this in, major versus minor regions went 36-3 at MSI 2022. RNG was 13-0, even after RNG.
Good job, G2. Good job.
This is the thing. RNG won an extra set of games after Riot erased their victories because of the whole ping latency issue that went on. Remember, guys? T1 10-0, EG 8-0, G2 5-3.
I love how he called him Palmvu Buffalo instead of Saigon Buffalo. I wish they kept their original name. That was way better than fucking Saigon Buffalo, whatever.
And that's the thing is, I mean, listen, guys, I know Impact is trying his damnedest to carry EG, and I hope he can carry them against RNG. I just don't think that's going to be a thing. But if this record right here doesn't show you that the minor regions have no chance of competing with major regions, I don't know what to show you, honestly. There was enough games to show you, okay, there's a big discrepancy between minor and major regions. There's a big discrepancy there. You know, yes, people, and then Azale brought this up on Twitter, and people were like, oh, well, EG is 1-9 against major regions. What the fuck does that got to do with this? What the fuck does that got to do with this? People love goalpost moving. I love the goalpost moving. I love it. But yeah, we will see you guys later. Tomorrow I'm watching Top Gun Maverick. Me and Sean are gonna review the first Top Gun movie in about like an hour from now. I gotta just get a shower.
Did you say tomorrow you're gonna watch it?
I'm gonna watch Top Gun Maverick tomorrow.
Okay.
My first showing. I gotta go to the first showing.
But yeah, my neighbors are fucking arguing, so I'm gonna go now.
Yeah. So we'll review Top Gun in about like an hour or two, actually. 8 or 7. Okay. So see you guys later. Goodbye. Have a great weekend, everyone. Peace.